Hi everyone, I'm Jana Eubank for the Cricut blog, and I am so excited. Today we are talking about Valentine's Day. We're actually kicking off a bunch of Valentine's Day projects that will be appearing for you here on the Cricut blog over the next couple of weeks. But I wanted to share one with you that I've made. When I think of Valentine's Day, I think of lots of red and white paper hearts and cupids and doilies and lacy things, because my mom used to decorate our front windows of our house with all these big giant red doilies every Valentine's Day, and I loved it. I was, as a kid, you're sort of like, after the holidays, you're sort of, I don't know, your spirit kind of falls into those winter blahs because there's nothing really to look forward to in January. But the minute my mom put those red doily hearts up in the front window, I knew Valentine's Day was coming, and that got me really excited. So my project I'm sharing with you today is all inspired by those red doilies that my mom used to hang up at our front windows. And what I decided to do was to create some Valentine's Day banners and garlands to hang in around the house. So you could put these on your mantle, in your windows, in your front window like my mom used to do. They would also be great to decorate maybe a backdrop for a Valentine's Day party, or the front of a table for a Valentine's Day party, or even if you're a teacher, these would be really fun to add to your classroom at the front above your whiteboards. So I just thought that this would be really fun to share, and that anyone could get some use out of some really fun Valentine's Day banners and garlands. So the first one that I created, and I'm just going to lift up a portion of it here, and you'll see a full picture of it on the blog, is this one that I've created using the Victorian Romance cartridge, which are these darling cupids here, and this hot air balloon image in the center here, and these gorgeous letters. Don't you love these letters? They are beautiful. They're one of my very favorite fonts on the Cricut cartridges. And that font comes from the Carousel cartridge. It has this beautiful layered and flourishy image, and I just think it's perfect for Valentine's Day. So what I did is I cut these out on my Cricut mini machine using the Cricut Craft Room free online design tool. And I will have the file available for you to download and use yourself on the blog. So look for that and download it, and in this project, all these projects will be ready to go for you. So I just assembled the letters, and then I used a shimmer spray to kind of spritz them. I used kind of a white, and then I also used a really light blue. It's hard to see on camera and in the pictures, but it just gives it something a little bit special. It gives it a little bit of shimmer as it's hanging in the window or wherever it is, and makes it feel more special than just plain cardstock. To attach them together, I punched holes in the top and placed silver eyelets in the holes before I strung them together with the red ribbon. The reason I did that was not only it makes it look a little more finished than just plain punched holes, but also it adds durability. So, if it swings around or over time, it won't tear with the weight of the banner, which it shouldn't anyway, but it just makes it look a little more finished. The second Valentine garland or banner idea I have for you is a classic. It is your simple chain link garland. And a lot of you have probably made these in elementary school growing up, where you just take paper strips and you round them together and then staple, and then you take the next one and interlink it and staple them together. And that's all I did. But what I did to make it a little more special is I added a lacy doily twist to it, so to speak. So I cut out these border pieces using the Ribbons and Rosettes cartridge, and it's just this gorgeous lacy scallop shape. And I just cut several of them and then just stapled them together. It's just a really beautiful look when it's hanging up. The third garland idea I have for you is, I like to call it a confetti garland. And basically what I did was I used Cricut Craft Room to do a search, and I searched for the word heart for Valentine's Day, and I came up with all kinds of beautiful heart images that the Cricut Craft Room pulled for me from all different kinds of cartridges. So I selected scallop hearts and cupids from the Victorian Romance, and heart tags and open hearts and just all different heart shapes, and I cut them out using the white and red cardstock, and again I used that shimmer spray just to make them a little more special. Now to connect them, all you need to do is use a sewing machine, and obviously you want to cut your shapes large enough so that your fingers aren't going to get caught as you're feeding the shapes into the sewing machine. But I just laid out the pattern on my desk because I was working. I would do 5 white shapes and then a red one, 5 white shapes and then a red one. And I just one by one would feed them into my sewing machine, and the sewing machine did all the work. It connected them all together. So that's how you make the confetti garland. Now the final garland that I made is this accordion heart garland. Isn't that beautiful? This shape is included on the Victorian Romance cartridge, and this is what reminds me of being a kid, is these beautiful lacy, doily looking hearts. So I just cut out several of them, and then we're going to link them together with staples. And it looks really hard and complicated because it's just such a beautiful, the doily cut does all the work of making it look hard, but really you're just stapling these together, and I'm going to show you how to do that. What you're going to need for, let's call these links or sections. For each little section of the garland, you're going to need 2 hearts. So just cut out several hearts, and just, cardstock's so cheap. I grabbed this at my copy center, and I think it was 7 cents for an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And that's the great thing about the Cricut Minis. You can just grab some standard size cardstock from your local printer or copy store. So I cut a whole bunch of these out. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is use a ruler and a scoring tool, and just place that ruler down the center mark of your doily and just score it against the table so that it has a little bit of a line in it. And that's just going to help you to bend the cardstock a little bit easier and give you a crisper fold as you put these together. So I've already scored these, and I'm just going to show you how to do it. So each section you're going to need 2 doily hearts. So let me fold this other one for you. Just like that. Okay? So now you have 2 shapes that are folded like this. The next thing you're going to do is put the 2 folded edges together. And we're going to open the hearts on each flat onto each other so that those 2 folded edges are touching. And then simply you're just going to take a stapler and you're going to staple right there on that fold mark. So we're going to staple here in the center of the top. And because you're doing this lacy image, you kind of want to be careful of how you staple and make sure that the prongs of your staple are actually going through cardstock so that it will hold it together. So there you go. We kind of have this little butterfly looking heart shape that's stapled together in the center. And that forms one of your sections or one of your links. So take all your heart pieces and 2 of them and staple them together like that. The next what you're going to do is you're going to connect them together. And you can see that I've already connected 2 here. And I'll just add this one to it. So basically what you do is, now that you've have the folded edges touching each other, you're going to now take the rounded edges and staple them to each other on the next heart. So we're going to line up the image, and we're going to, I hope you can see this okay, we're going to staple on that side. And be careful to get only 2 layers. And then we're going to take the other side and staple that. And then you're just going to keep going. Isn't that easy? So there you go, you can see the beginning of the accordion garland. So when you're done, when you've made it as long as that you want, all I did to finish it off was I added a piece of baker's twine towards the end, and I just kind of looped it through the design, the 2 end pieces of the design. And then we're going to hang it in the window or wherever using that piece of twine as the area to tape or attach your garland to your surface. So that's it. It's really easy. I hope you've enjoyed these gorgeous Valentine garlands and banners today. And you'll see on the blog that I've layered them all together because I wanted a really beautiful swag look to them. And it just brings back so many great memories of those hearts and lace and doily, and actually makes me crave chocolate a little bit as I wait for Valentine's to come. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed these projects, and be sure to come back and check with us throughout the next couple weeks and see the rest of the Valentine projects that we have for you. My name is Jana Eubank, and I'm here for the Cricut blog. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for joining us.